If you're watching this video, you're experiencing loss or approaching it, and I'm very sorry for that. No one can know what you're going through, and I respect you alone to know your experience. But I'd like to try to help with the mention of a few things. I lost my wife about 10 years ago when our twin girls were preschoolers, and have read, studied, networked, and more since then. I've read some research results coming from the last 30 years of academic study on grief and trauma, and have some quick thoughts in plain English. Number 1, the odds are in your favor and in the favor of your kids. Number 2, your process is yours, not for others to tell you that you're doing it wrong. And research backs this up. You aren't doing it wrong if you aren't on someone else's path. And number 3, the best general advice is to follow your own coping, but try to vary it for 6 to 12 months. Here's a bit more on each point, and then I'll keep this video short. First, the findings in the last 30 years of worldwide research are that the majority of people recover, kids included, without any special intervention. If your grief is profound, you can bring in other help if you want to. But you can do what feels right to you, and it doesn't have to be lost time. You can have good days throughout that period, and even good weeks. Several understandings of grief view it as being both down days and normal days. And there are several studies that show that kids who go through loss can handle stress better in their lives in the future, even better than kids who haven't had loss. 2. Your process is yours. This sounds simple, but it's actually backed up by research. Recent grief research shows that the old 5 phases of grief notion is not universal and may not even be true. That's not a path you have to follow. There are many other mechanisms of a grief process, and there's not one to be prescribed that you have to do. I'll describe some of the different models of grief in another video. If you aren't feeling the way you think you should feel, that's probably okay. It's not accurate for anyone to tell you what you should do or how you should be feeling. The general idea is to vary your coping for the next 6 to 12 months. Research into grief hasn't found exact steps to follow. In fact, it's found that people who have reassembled lives that they enjoy have taken all sorts of different mixed paths. But it has found that people who have a large repertoire of coping strategies and who flexibly move between them tend to be in the recovery groups. I have videos on coping repertoire if you want more info. I want to keep this video short and will only say a bit more here, since I'm assuming you're in a very tough time. You might feel wiped out, just heartbroken and literally sick. That's understandable. You might feel sad but realistic and want to feel better. That's also understandable. And you might feel scared and you might be angry. You might be really worried. All of these are natural. With many people I've spoken to, they want to know when these feelings will change, when it will get back towards normal, and exactly what they can do to feel any better. There isn't one answer to give you, but there are some general guidelines of feeling much better within months to a year, and I have some more videos about that. Odds are you'll successfully chart your own path to recovery. You'll do it by mixing your own investigations with your own coping mechanisms to make yourself feel better. I'm very sorry for the loss you're sitting with. I've been there, and I hope this and other information helps you. Look around you, read and talk to others about your questions, and maybe I'll see you in another video.